Now, Great Britain's first disabled air display team will take to the skies in the next few weeks.
Yeah, the four-person squad is made up of wheelchair users and amputees. A film crew from our disability unit, BBC Ouch, went to meet them.
Formation, Roger, readability 5 is going to be runway 09 left.
Alan with Barry, Mike and Mark. We will be Great Britain's first disabled air display team. I want us to be a display team that people want to see because we're good rather than, oh look what those disabled people are doing, bless. I want us to be good.
After 20 odd years of being paralysed, it's fair to say I was pretty fed up. Somebody turning around and saying, do you want to learn to fly? It was like the light came on again, you know?
How is it? Much better.
I've got the least experience of anybody here.
I'm very privileged to be in the team, but I'd also be quite relieved to be the one that sat on the ground doing the commentary for the first air display.
What attracts me is it's good fun to sit there and look out the window and see another aeroplane. You're using all the controls all the time. You're using the throttle, the ailerons, elevators and the rudder pedals, which obviously we both have difficulties with that. So you're constantly on the go.
If I'm honest, I'm uncomfortable flying close to another aircraft. You're taught see and avoid, and all of a sudden you're close enough that there's this huge aircraft that's there next to you, and they're saying, in a little bit closer, in a little bit closer. And really all I want to do is run away. But the thrill of doing this is just unbeatable. I think we both know what pain is. I was paralysed at 18 years old. Had a motorcycle accident, broke nearly every bone in my body apart from my arms and legs. Very lucky to survive, but it left me, confined to a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
What happened to me was the same, a motorbike. I got hit by a car and it almost amputated my leg there and then, and the surgeons did the rest of it that night. When I woke up the next morning and realised my leg had gone, I realised that my ambition to fly might have been gone because I didn't know that disabled people could fly. So I did a little bit of research. I found that disabled people could fly, and then I just made it a goal simply to get a licence. I wouldn't have thought in a million years I'd be able to go into formation flying, and who knows what's next.
It's not going to be a case of we are the Red Arrows with propellers and no legs. I still can't believe that we're doing this. Just learning to fly was a privilege. Learning to fly formation, that just doesn't happen. That's something else, let alone to disabled pilots. I think there's still a perception that disabled people just aren't capable of living full, independent lives. And I hope that sometimes by doing something like this, we help straighten that record a little bit.
Some incredible stories there. Well, I'm really pleased to say the founder of the team, Charlie Bickers, is with us this morning. And Charlie, you're also grandson of Douglas Bader.
I am, yes.
So nice to see you. And that explains some of the connection about why you're doing this.
Yeah.
But I wonder, talk us through that initial idea. Why come up with this team?
Well, we wanted to create a project that would really capture people's imagination, just like Douglas did in his lifetime, really. So I thought it was important to create something so special that would really inspire the disabled community and the able-bodied community alike, and also to remind people of Douglas's story, because I think who he was and what he did is still very relevant today, and it still brings a lot of hope to people even now.
Training for it, though, I
Yes.
do imagine would be quite something. How long does it take,
well,
and the preparations involved in this?
It's a long process. I mean, big ideas don't happen overnight. So it started maybe 2 years ago with the concept, and then we had to find the right people to partner up with. So we partnered up with a great charity called Airability, and then we had to whittle down the pilot selection, and finally we got down to the 3 pilots, which are incredible. And I was actually with them earlier this week, and I was flying in the lead aircraft with them, and it's dangerous. It's a scary project. So.
And how do you make that decision about who's going to be the one leading the charge for this?
Yeah, but it sort of came about quite organically, really. A lot of it's to do with experience and who can hold their nerve, because with flying aircraft, you are taught really to stay as far away from other aircraft as possible. So it's not natural feeling to tuck in tight to an aircraft. So, and safety is absolutely paramount. So we picked 3 very experienced and fantastic pilots, and we couldn't be more proud of them, really.
And so after all that training, and you said you were with them earlier in the week, I mean, what goes through your mind when, you know, you look back over your shoulder and there they are, and they're in the sky and they're, you know, they're flying?
It's emotional and humbling, because it's an idea that's taken a long time to get to this point, and to see how much they've developed is amazing. And when I was up in the lead aircraft and I could look to the right, and there was Alan tucked in and Barry on the left, and it's amazing. And I think I couldn't think of a better way to honour Grandpa's legacy, really. So,
Barder Bus Company, the name. How did you come up with that, and what does it mean?
Well, it's interesting, actually. It's a great story, because Douglas referred to the squadrons he led as Barder's Bus Company. And as they were coming across into France, he would always call back on radio and say Barder's Bus Company on time. And he said you could get a flight with him, you could buy a ticket to France, but it was always a return ticket only. So, it's all the RAF banter. But when he'd become a real talisman for the RAF, and of course, when he didn't come back from a dogfight, they were so distraught, thought the worst, thought he'd dead, and when word finally did reach 3 days later that he was alive and well in good old British spirit, Johnny Johnson and the other Spitfire pilots all spray painted on their cone to say Barder's Bus Company still running.
Remarkable story.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Incredible work. Thanks for coming to tell us about it.
Thank you so much.
Charlie, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck with it all, and the squad will be performing their first display in early September.